Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Johan, welcome. All right, what do we got here? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 11:13. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, great. I'll invite a few people too. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Hey Amy, welcome. Let's see if we have a twilight zone today or not. Maybe not. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. I'm taking shelter, the holy name. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari Hari. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari Hari. Just so you know, like this morning was a little bit rocky. But you know, I had to do the same thing with Lalita. Lalita was going through stuff and didn't know it or didn't think it was anything, you know, and I had to distance myself for a year actually. Otherwise, there would be no way I can teach. I can't be close to all this drama going on in when a person is getting purified. You'll see River will come through it and will be like a Lilita thing, you know. We're very, you know, no more conflict back and forth and all this stuff. But, you know, we just everybody should know that's what's going on. And it's not, we've already been through this and look at the result. It's been fantastic with Lalita. And more steadiness will come. So anyway, this is Krishna's mercy. This is Krishna's mercy, so that the devotees can go to the very deep stage, you know, and be solid for people. Because you can't be solid, you know, being conflicted, you know, all the time. You know, like one day you're, oh, Gaurahari, you're great. Oh, you're a jerk, Gaurahari. You know, and this back and forth thing. That's part of the purification. So. Some devotees need to go through that, and that's what it is. So people don't take it seriously. In a sense, it's just passing. You know, don't let it like confuse you. Like some devotees are getting a little confused about certain things. You know, don't be. You know, this is part of the purification. Could you imagine what Prabhupada was dealing with? Yeah, he wanted to throw in the towel many times, but you know, this is even deeper cleansing. Yeah, and Johan, you know, is maybe not understanding this kind of stuff yet. What you got to do when you have disciples that are going through stuff, you know, It's like it's an exorcism, of the old self. It's dying. The part that wants to be recognized, that wants, is not satisfied with just devotional service, wants to be acknowledged, wants to be, all kinds of material feelings. I think desire for, human stuff like this. Anyway, people going through it, and that's just part of the process. Hare Krishna. I gotta, like, to maintain what I'm doing, I have to keep a little bit of a distance while people are going through this. I don't want to, be so close to them. They want me to be so intimate with. It's like getting involved in the drama. That's not, no, not going there, not doing that. Yeah, already too close. Messed up my bhajan a little bit, but that's part of it, It's like having children. What are you going to do? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Come on, they can project, oh yeah, it's you, you're doing this, and oh yeah, well, whatever, I gotta set my boundaries so I can continue my bhajan and my helping other devotees and helping myself at the same time. Hey, Mr. Crow, what do you want to say? Got a crow right here, man. Crow. Oh, you're not afraid, huh? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's why a lot of devotees, they just stay on the Vaidhi level because they got to go through this deep cleansing thing. They can't deal with it. They don't know how to do it. They can't confront this. So it's easier to just stay on the rules, regulations, ceremonies, external, just stay external. But this internal cleansing is deep. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. This has not been attempted. The Acharyas never attempted this in the last 200 years. What we're doing here is a very deep cleansing. They just kept everything external. They're devotees. They just had, gave them rules, regulations, and just, external things. Not this permanent transformation. So I'm just saying this so people can understand. Otherwise, you won't understand. You think some will understand, but many won't. They think, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Well, that's what's going on. And we have experience with this. We just went through this with other devotees here. So we're learning as we're going, too. Many things here. Yeah. Do you have any comments? You should open your minds and your hearts and express yourselves, also. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If you have any doubts or questions or stuff like that, bring them out. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Yeah, even Lord Caitanya was going through stuff like this. He had devotees. You can read it right here in the Leela. He had devotees coming that were minds were disturbed. Yeah, Sachi knows. I had to do that with her. She also wanted some, and I had to say, well, not yet. It's just, it takes some time, See, a lot of times we want intimacy, but we want to draw people into their material Leela, this drama, because there's an addiction to it. It's a ras, and people are used to that interaction where they get into, very intimate dealings, and they get on that high. you know, from being intimate, and then they get into fighting, and then they get into high and making up, and you know, that's another level. I mean, I'm not there anymore. I'm not into that. I'm into this high, you know. So it's different stages, you know. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Yeah, I'm doing, this is my duty to Prabhupada, you know, to help the devotees make advancement through this. A lot have also doing with people we still associate. Yeah, yeah, you know, yeah. So you got to, everybody, that's a journey. You got to learn these things. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. That's why I got to stop the bhajan a little bit this way, and we got to talk about this to clear the air, get an understanding, get orientated, like what's going on, you know. So, and not misunderstand these things. You know? We have actually a lot of experience in this sangha here, you know, from what people go through to make spiritual advancement. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. A lot of it's just releasing the old, you know, it just takes time, you know. We're heavily identified with the conditioning in the world. We think we're the false ego, you know. You know? See, whenever a person wants attention, we want to draw the attention to ourselves. See, that's false ego. See, devotees, as we're getting pure, we want to draw our attention to Krishna, because that's where happiness is, to draw our attention to Krishna, not to ourselves. You know, to draw attention to Krishna. Okay, that's natural for a devotee, but you got to get purified to get there. See, we want to. Other people, you know, another thing is we want to be known. See, we want to be known. We want to be accepted. We want to be known, accepted. Um, Something else. Yeah. Anyway, we want to be important. Yeah, we want to be important. See, and that's a human thing. That's the reflection. See, devotees, just naturally, when you're purified, you want to give importance to the Lord and the Lord's devotees. It gives great transcendental happiness. See, everything is reversed. In this world, it's all inverted. Everybody's looking for the false ID, happiness for themselves and for their own acknowledgments, for their, see, stuff like that. Everything's reversed. That's why it's rare to get a association of a devotee who's in the ecstatic stage, because it's very easy to misread them, misunderstand them, you know, project on them, you know. So, but that's, you know, that's just what we're doing. This actually will go down in history as something very rare. It's very rare, especially for Vaishnavas. If they knew the kind of advancement they could make here, they would be here in droves if they could understand it. Not everybody can. You know, this is a very special situation. Narayan Raj couldn't do that for his devotees. Nobody could until now. There's special empowerment here, special mercy here. You know, people can become acharyas in this lifetime. Now, it can be very difficult at times, but it's also tied to deep therapy. Exactly. This deconditioning at the deepest level, exactly. So it is understandably intense. Right. But the new wine coming is so worth the tumultuous process of cleansing. Yes. See, she's got it. She's with the program. See, thanks, Amy. You're absolutely correct. That's why you're here. Krishna knows you can deal with this, with your process, you know, of understanding and making, you know. A lot of people can't. They don't just have it in here. They're not ready. Most probably. But anyway, those Krishna sends, you know, we'll go through it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thanks, Amy, for your input there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think I'll read something here. Settle down. Let's see, what should we read here today? The opulence and sweetness of Krishna. I'll continue where we were here. This is text number 10. The spiritual qualities of Krishna are also unlimited. See, this is when we start to really get purified to the point you realize happiness is not just our limited happiness of glorifying things in the world, in the material world is all limited. And that the happiness in that is very fleeting, very limited. Even ourselves, the happiness of just being praised is very limited. You're very limited happiness. Like, for example, and I only use these people for example, so that we can learn. It's kind of like, a comedian. I was watching Jim Carrey, and he exaggerates the characteristics of people, and then you really get it. Where that J.P. Sears exaggerates. And so we do this spiritually also, exaggerating, or show people, those who are examples of exaggerated qualities. See, like Trump, for example. Okay, everybody knows he's got a kind of a big pride thing, See, but his happiness of that experiencing like self-importance and glorification of his own self, that's very limited happiness, and you come to an end of it. There's not much to glorify about the false ego. Very limited. But now, when you're purified and you're attracted to Krishna's transcendental virtues, it's unlimited. His glories are unlimited. That's why we have so many classes. These talks are all about the transcendental virtues of God, the Lord, Krishna, in the various forms. Okay? And also, part of the virtues is the material world, actually, in relationship to Krishna. This is a great way to understand God, is by his shadow in comparison to his true eternal reality. Temporary reality versus the shadow. So great personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the four Kumaras cannot estimate the spiritual qualities of the Lord. See? This is what we're here to do. We're making great personalities who don't care about their own greatness. Now, isn't that something? They're too busy glorifying the transcendental qualities of the Lord and the absolute truth. See? There's too much happiness in that. See? And they're automatically great personalities because they can do that from their heart, spontaneously, naturally, because their spiritual bodies awaken. We're making great personalities here. Can you imagine that? Personalities here are becoming as good as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all real devotees, regardless of their position. Because just like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva love to glorify the transcendental qualities of the eternal Lord, well, so do many devotees here already. Yeah, already becoming great personalities, and you don't even care about it. Those in false ego, and I've seen so many who are identifying, they want to look great, they want to be great, they want to be great devotees. See? So they're always trying to attain Krishna. See? But not in the way the devotees are looking for Krishna. Paradox. Yeah. See, you cannot estimate the spiritual qualities of the Lord. I've always wondered about that verse too, until I started, glorifying the Lord in these classes. This just goes on and on and on. Take the same verses and glorify them and show their application in this world practically. It's so wonderful. It is so needed. People are blind, and this opens their eyes just by hearing these kinds of talks from real devotees who have real bhakti, man, real empowerment from the transcendental Lord. Yeah. So, in time, great scientists may be able to count all the atoms of the universe, all the stars and planets in the sky. You see how he uses the material objects in the world as a preaching way to understand the transcendental qualities of the Lord. See, the highest truth, see, these are qualities of the eternal. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. That's what you get when you are connected with the Lord. He uses you to preach what he preaches. See, he was preaching this. You get the ability to cross-reference the shadow, the temporary shadow of the truth with the eternal truth, and that way people can makes a bridge so you can understand. Oh, really? Oh, really? That's a transcendental qualities of the Lord, unlimited. In all the particles of snow, who among them can count the unlimited transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord? Yeah, and that's why it's called unlimited bliss. The bliss, the happiness, it's not even considered bliss in the world. They don't even use that word because bliss is transcendental. The happiness of the world is if you experience happiness here, you're going to experience unhappiness. It's just oscillating back and forth, back and forth. Okay? Unlimited bliss, there's bliss in this. There's also oscillation in the spiritual, union and separation, but it's all blissful. Okay? And as you're getting purified, you go more into that level. See? You ascend to the transcendental platform forever. This is why this is a one-way trip here. You're not coming back. Not in the way human beings come back. You'll be living on this bliss, just like this. You can count the unlimited transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the food. This is the bread of life. But you need the butter to be able to relish the bread. That this is spiritual bread. You got to be converted and transformed into an actually devotee with devotional potency to relish this spiritual food. See, it's unlimited. And when this body, you're finished with this body, now you've got real life. Otherwise, you got no life. You got to come back here again to get, because you think, oh yeah, life is in food, man. Oh, and I'm very attached to it. Oh yeah, life is in sex because I'm very attached to it. Too attached. See? You don't have any experience of your transcendental body awakened that lives on the spiritual food. It's a body of devotion. See? And it enables us to live on this, to eat this spiritual food. See? Holy Spirit, the Christians called it. Jesus said, I'm the bread of life. No one would know that that Jesus is the bread of life unless you have the Holy Spirit of devotion. You cannot partake of that bread. Even now, people can't partake of Jesus. Yeah, a lot of times people, they may believe in Jesus to some extent, or maybe they think they're full faithful, and they think their Holy Communion is to go to the Catholic Church and get a dry wafer on their tongue and some just unintoxicated grape juice. Intoxicating grape juice. Yeah, that's not the communion that Jesus was talking about. Was to receive the gift of the Holy Spirit, just like for the Vaishnavas, is to receive the gift of the Holy Spirit of pure devotion, pure bhakti that brings tears to your eyes when you chant, bliss in your heart when you speak about the glories of the Lord. To partake of that. See? And it's a gift. You have to receive it in disciplic line when it's the will of the Lord to distribute it. See, like he did through Jesus, like he's doing through our Sangha here. People are getting it here. Those who come to see that and go through the purification. You see, you got to go through the process. If it was without this kind of process, then all the Vaidhi devotees in ISKCON and Gaudiya Math and Gaudiya Samiti would get it, but they don't. None of them. Not even in the Gaudiya Samiti where they're talking about Raghunuga Bhakti and even the Radhakund Babajis. I didn't see symptoms of going through this kind of purification where they're authentically tasting the glories of this devotion. Very rare. Very rare situation, very rare devotees. Very rare authorization to teach this. Even Sanatana Goswami was writing his Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and Narada Muni was saying, it's very rare that the Lord authorizes spontaneous devotional teachings like Raghunuga Bhakti, because it confuses the people in the world easily. It has to be carefully preached. Okay? Just like, we have personal dealings with each other, to help each other go through what we got to go through. I've had Christians say they are confused by this preaching and they have some ecstasy. So, that's why anybody that really wants God in this life, you want God, you really want a relationship with Krishna, well, you better be coming here at least 30 days. Otherwise, you're just talking and you don't really want to go through what you need to go through to get it. See, like Lalita Ganga went through a lot to get this, and River's going through a lot right now to get this. So that's the test. Will you hang in there or what? Not everybody's got to go through that way, but everybody's different. You got to go through what you go through. This is the greatest treasure here in this universe. Even demigods, they don't have that. They would have to come and meet some devotee in some rare place like here to get what's being given here. Where can you tell me where you can get prema bhakti so easily? None of these gurus can even dream that they could get it or they can give it out in this world. They know it. That's why they preach, many lifetimes before you guys will get it. So, you come here, you can take what we're doing seriously, you can get it in this life. You can become like a Lalita. Or anyone else. Johan, he's got some of this devotion, right? It's bhakti. And the Lord ain't waiting for you to become perfect. Look, he's given it to River also. He's given it to a lot of devotees. He started to give it to Meena. He gave it to Christina. But they have a hard time to figure out what's going on. They got these anarthas confusing them. They don't have full faith in Guru and Shiksha Guru. And that's what you need, obviously, right? You see why Lalita's gotten through? She has full faith in Guru. That's what will get River or whoever else through all of these things. If you don't, that's why I don't budge on the process. People say, "Whoa, why do you need Guru? Why do you need to teach that? Why don't you just let everybody just do their own thing?" Because I want people to succeed. If you follow the process that I'm just teaching in the book, which is to have a bona fide Shiksha Guru and be dedicated, then you'll get through all of these things. Otherwise not. You'll become like Mahavirya, Meena, and Christina, who don't have full faith in Shiksha Guru. Matter of fact, they don't have any faith, my ex-wife included. Okay? But look at those who are getting through. Look at Lalita. Look at Johan. Look how ecstatic they are. Look at River. You know, look at Govinda. Look at Janaki. Full faith brings you a long way, doesn't it? So you see why hey, I resisted this. I didn't, there's a point I thought, I don't want to do that. Let me be a Ritvik instead of just following the order of power. Because I didn't feel I'm not qualified to do this. See, but it's not about being qualified or unqualified. It's about following the order of the parampara and Krishna, right? So when I started to do that, things started to change. People started to change. People started to get devotion to Krishna. And I ain't budging. This is the right way. This way works. People can think, well, why are you doing it this way? Do it the way I want. Well, you do it the way you want. But we get the results because we're going by the book. It says have a bona fide spiritual master, right? So we follow that. I got the order to do this as spiritual master, so I do it, and it works. Whether I feel qualified or not. Well, I don't feel qualified, but the Lord gives the qualification. It's the order of the spiritual master that is the active principle of spiritual life. Well, Prabhupada came in my dream and gave the order. Krishna came in the vision of one of my second disciples and gave the benediction that people will get darshan of Krishna who come here and come to accept this teaching, not blindly, authentically. You don't have to be writing things on show. You see how faithful I am? No, you don't need to do those kinds of austerities. Just just become honest in your heart, get over your conflicts, your conflicting parts, and that happens naturally. You just hang in there, and everybody will get through it. I might have to take a little distance from some of these disciples going through stuff so I can continue my work and my bhajan, to help others get through what they need to get through. I can't be caught up intimately with people going through all this massive stuff, and the disturbance of it. No, let them go through it and get it out of you, so you become steady devotees. Yeah. So that's a little what's going on here, man. It's very practical. So he descends on the surface of the globe for the benefit of all living entities. See? The benefit of because the Lord is transcendental, his devotees are transcendental. By associating with the devotees, you're associating with the Lord. How? Well, they give you for starters, you see real ecstatic worship, ecstatic love. And you hear conclusive truth that comes from purely worshiping the Lord with a heart that's been purified with bhakti. You get an accurate map reader who points you into the direction of Vrindavan quickly. Not a cross-eyed, yes, I'm Gurudev. Yeah, let me speculate on how to get to Vrindavan. I haven't found the place myself, but you believe, what I'm saying, even though I'm not in Vrindavan in consciousness. That's the state of today's conditions. People are not deeply in ecstatic worship of the Lord. See? We are here, deeply in that. So deep into that most people think it's sahaja. Most people think this is the wrong thing because our gurus aren't ecstatic like that. Or they say they are, but they hide it so nobody knows what it is. So he descends to the surface of the globe. See? The Lord descends here. He descends in two ways. He descends himself occasionally during the age, like to usher in what is the best way to attain some progress in our devotional life, either as coming and teaching rules and regulations or whatever, or he descends through his devotees and does the same thing. And now the Lord is descending in our hearts, inspiring the word of deliverance. Everybody gets to hear the confidential message of the Lord that will deliver them. Whoever wants to hear this. But if you don't come and listen, you won't know these confidential things. So it depends on who the Lord inspires to come here. Yeah, the message is going out. It's all over Facebook. Yeah, it's going out to the Vaishnavas, starting with them. Whoever wants a close relationship with the Supreme Lord can actually have it in this life. If you go through what you need to go through to get it. So all you need to do is go through it, man. Just hang out with us, and automatically you'll be pulled into the kingdom. You're pulled through the purification. You don't have to try. You might be saying, "No, stop! It's too much." And the Lord might say, "I don't know. I'm not going to stop. I want to get you into the kingdom quick." Like he does with River, like he did with Lalita. Look, he got him getting them in fast, man. So, to say nothing of the Lord Brahma, even Lord Ananta, who has thousands of heads, cannot reach the end of the Lord's transcendental qualities, even though he is continuously chanting their praises. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I need to walk a little bit. It's getting hotter and hotter every day. So, thank you very much for coming, and hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back a little bit later.